Welcome to another episode of last week's comics. Today I have a large stack here. I have not yet eaten breakfast. I'm going to try to go through this quickly so that I can go eat, but I did also randomize the pile a bit beforehand. I couldn't decide what order I wanted to talk about these in, so I just did some shuffling. We are going to start with Kill All Immortals, and sort of like a poorly constructed movie trailer that ruins the first or even second act surprises. The title has the word immortal, so when somebody shows up at the end, you're like, well, yeah, obviously. Anyway, it is well constructed. It's a family of Norwegians. The question I have is whether or not they're going to answer why. So it's this family here. They are seemingly business people, and violently attack people with axes and shit. Yeah, the question is really, why are they doing any of this? And so that's what I would like to see answered. There was a massive 11-page, which I think is probably slightly more than half the issue, but there was an 11-page preview, so if you are curious about that, you can go read that. I don't know. Yeah, I liked it well enough to at least grab the second issue. But it's really, now that the story has gotten underway, I'm curious to see where it goes. The world, the people have been established, and I still don't know quite yet what the point is. But we'll see. I'll at least get the second issue. Get Fury issue 3. Holy shit, this series. This is a fantastic issue. It's Punisher walking around pretending to be Russian. He's just the balls on this guy. And then there's the CIA and military subplot going on, and Fury is locked up, and it's just incredibly well done, and I'm very much enjoying it. Wilson did let me borrow, I don't think I've talked about this yet, he's got this huge Punisher omnibus that he let me borrow. And it's got the 12 issues that I already read of Garth Ennis and I can't remember who is Steve Dillon. And then I think it's the beginning of the Max stuff. So I've got that, but that's going to take me a while to get through. I don't know. This is incredible. I'm loving it. I'm loving Garth Ennis, Punisher. And at least once an issue, Jason Burrows gets to draw something just disgusting. In this issue, someone gets pushed off a curb and their head gets run over by a truck, and like, it's just spectacular. I'm loving this. This is good enough that it's making me want to read more Garth Ennis Punisher, and I think that's some of the highest praise I can give it. Speaking of high praise, there is Transformers issue 10, and I was warned, I was told not to flip through this, because then here's something I tend to do is I like flip through it, see, I don't know, I entice myself, I try to not spoil myself. Anyway, this is, it's going to be pick of the week, but it's possibly, so far, pick of the year. Like, this single issue is so good, there's so much packed in here, there's no wrestling moves. But I'm going to say that's to the benefit, because there are so many character moments in this. I've, in 40 years, never cared about Beachcomber, but oh man, there's an explanation for why he showed up at the end of the previous issue, and in, let me see, 1, 3, 5... Yeah, in just about 5 pages, it made me care about Beachcomber, which is unprecedented. And then there are just, there's so many incredible, weirdly I don't think either of them are in this issue. There's so many incredible character moments, Soundwave and Shockwave. There's one, see, there's this here, the subtlety of it. There's a moment where Soundwave is talking about going against Shockwave, but like here, Shockwave, the shoulder grab and like this somewhat intimate pulling in of like weird comrades and on the same side, and then Shockwave's conversation, private conversation later. Oh my god. Oh, it's there's just horrifying stuff happening in here, and it's amazing. And like, Onslaught's sneaking around. This is the conversation I was talking about, but like Onslaught's sneaking around and Brawl's still like half a body, and Alita is unhappy with Prime, and it's so good. It's incredible. Loving it. There was a huge conversation between Berg and I that I just filmed 3 days ago, and I wish that I could link you to it already, but it's not anywhere. It's anyway. That's going to be up on the other channel, Shock and Awe Toy Reviews. If you are at all curious about more of my opinions, I have years worth of toy reviews over on Shock and Awe Toy Reviews. Anyway, this issue, book of the year? I don't know, maybe. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, issue 2. We find out a lot more about this guy, Mohan, and the island. I feel like it's an island, wherever they wound up at the end of the previous issue. So it's these three. They're on a walking journey. There's some action that pops up at the end. There's this guy, and there's just a lot of talking. There's a lot of explanation. There is a question of how reliable he is, how much you should believe the guy that's talking, and then there's like weird monster stuff happening, and there's kind of some zombie stuff at the end. The art in this is incredible. It's brown, and the story, the characters, all of it is very interesting. I'm loving this. Golgotha Motor Mountain issue 4. This is the last issue of the miniseries. It is pretty thick, and this whole series has been absolutely bizarre. It's one of the weirdest things that I've read in years. At a high level, it's kind of a space rock Venom turned into drugs that people snort, and then it's almost Katamari-esque, just but then there's all of these black text boxes that are more kind of backwoods history, and it's a family drama mixed with interstellar. There's some boobs. Here's more family drama. It's such a weird combination of elements, and I think it does a good job. And the backups that had been in the previous 3 issues that were done by somebody else, all of that is tied in as well, and it's just super weird, but I'm gonna say also well done. And this is gonna be the hardest recommendation. But if anyone is curious, if anyone is interested in like just incredible art and a bizarre, extremely fresh take on storytelling, check out Golgotha Motor Mountain. I don't think I'm going to be getting the trade of this. I think I'm sufficient with the single issues, but this is well done. I don't know what else to say. It's well done. I'm also glad that it's over, and given the oversized nature of this final issue and all of the words, I was talking a couple of weeks ago about the art of Bilquis Evely and the amount of words that Tom King puts on top of her art, and then just how many words are in this. So you're absolutely getting... the other thing that I talk about sometimes is sort of the dollars per minute or minutes per dollar, depending on how you want to look at it. So this is a $6 book, and it's going to take you a good chunk of time to get through it. All of the art to look at, obviously, and then there's all of that text to get through. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying this ultimately as a good thing. Yes, it's... I don't even know what standard cover price is anymore, but it's slightly higher than the normal book, and you're going to get a lot of reading time out of it. Barfly issue 1. I wasn't sure about Barfly because it wasn't, their names are still on the cover, but I wasn't a big fan of the previous spin-off series. This is by Kyle Starks, Ryan Brown. I sometimes am a fan of Ryan Brown. This is possibly my favorite Ryan Brown work that I can think of. But it's again, there's some subtlety, there's some sight gag. Yes, there's some visual gags. And the story, the character is interesting. I'm curious to see where this goes, and I'm probably signing up for the whole thing. Look at this bug with human arm. It's so weird. It's so weird, but I also had so much fun reading it and looking in all of the backgrounds. Like I said, sight gags. But it's really well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and just look at all the stuff that's here in this prawn shop, which, I mean, even just playing words there. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on in here, and I absolutely loved it, and I am going to sign up for the series. Monsters Are My Business, issue 4. This is another final issue of a miniseries, and like I was saying with the previous issue, the first issue was incredible. I fell in love with it, and then issues 2 through 4 are like, it's alright. There's a lot going on here. There was a lot to resolve as far as this intergalactic, interdimensional horror stuff, as well as the incredible local ex-girlfriend gang that, and I'll just say even the government angle as well. So, I mean, there was a lot to resolve. All of that happens, surprisingly, and it's well done, and I won't be getting the trade of this either, because it was a great first issue, and it was a bit down from that point on, but it was a really great first issue. Ain't No Grave, issue 3. I can't remember what my prediction was as far as the stages of grief go, but this issue is bargaining. And bargaining takes the form of, somewhat surprisingly, I would say, poker. So we get some more flashbacks that have been sprinkled throughout, but she gets at least bandaged because she was pretty beat up, shot in the previous issue. And then we get to the gambling hall. We get this woman here, who is this on the cover. And look, it's issue 3 of 5. So, like, things are going to go somewhat predictably, just because of the nature of how these things unfold. But it's a well-done issue. And next issue, probably anger. That's my current anger, then acceptance. Likely. I'm curious to see what happens there, because she's not in a state currently that I feel lends itself to becoming angry, but I guess we'll see. So this is another just very well done issue. It's this team previously did The Me You Love in the Dark, which I also highly recommend, but this is great. I will probably be getting the trade of this once it's over, but there's still 2 more issues to go, and I very much want to see how this unfolds. Dawn Runner, issue 4. This is one that I don't know how many issues the series is supposed to be, but it's hitting peak weirdness. I don't know if a conclusion is coming soon, but something huge. Again, I make this reference every issue, but it's a bit Pacific Rim, where there is a portal that these monsters are coming through, and similar to the second Pacific Rim, there's a sort of a super monster that comes through, and this time jumps a little bit to just a bunch of devastated mechs. So the super monster, this thing here in the background, has been rampaging for a while. It's getting close to the border of this penned-in area, and the corporation that is running these mechs is having a bit of a crisis as well. And then there's still a bunch of stuff happening with the flashback, weird slippage stuff. It's all really well done, and this is another one where I want to see where it goes, but like I said, peak weirdness. So her mech is kind of wrecked, and the corporation sends in a team to go rescue her, and then they don't find her body inside the mech, and this kind of shit happens, and you're just like, what the hell? But it's really well done. I recommend it. If you want mech versus monster mayhem, this is the book to get. It's really well done. Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age. And I don't remember if this was a conversation that was captured on camera or not, but there was a discussion, again, with Berg and I, and I'm saying that they should have dropped Batman. Of course, I think having Batman in the title probably bumps it to like 30% additional sales, but it's a Gotham by Gaslight exploration of it's an exploration of the Gotham by Gaslight world, and Batman shows up half the time. This is Adam Strange, and somebody else shows up, but it's also the conclusion to the Batman vs. Talia fight that started at the tail end of the previous issue, which was a great Catwoman issue until Batman showed up, and then I'm like, yeah, okay. So, previewing, sort of reading the solicitations for upcoming issues, I think it's going to continue being a spotlight. So we're going to get some new character each issue as they interact with the world of Gotham by Gaslight, and Batman will be the connective tissue of it. But it's good. It's enjoyable. This guy shows up. If you can guess who that is. Your cigarette should give it away. Anyway, it's good. It's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I don't have much else to say. I'm enjoying it. The trade for Kill Your Darlings came out this week, which I highly recommend. I'm not going to be doing a video on this because I've already done videos for each of the 8 issues, but this was phenomenal. I highly recommend it. It's fantasy horror and just incredibly well done. The art's gorgeous, and the story is extremely surprising, and then also just very well done. So I highly recommend grabbing Kill Your Darlings. The last thing I somewhat forgot about is Savage Dragon. What am I talking about? Savage Sword of Conan. I have not read this yet. It is Carrie Nord drawing, Frank Thierry, and it's also the conclusion of the Solomon Kane story that has been going throughout the first 3 issues, and then there's this silent one at the very back here, which looks phenomenal. So I need to read this because I honestly forgot about it, and then I saw it this morning, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't read that. So that is everything that I got this week. Conan is probably going to be good, fingers crossed. I already said that Transformers is pick of the week. Barfly, I highly recommend checking it out if you are at all interested in the Minor Threats universe. It's one of the good ones. Dawn Runner's great. Let me see. Falling in Love is phenomenal. Like, all of this stuff gets honorable mention, but Transformers is taking the week. Get Fury is great, and then Kill All Immortals is off to an interesting start, but also somewhat slow because, like, it gives away one of the things right in the title. So that's everything that I got this week. As always, I get all of my books from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.